construction.
It works out for my schedule too, because I wasn't gonna be here the 5th. Okay, if the board would like to call this meeting in order, they're more than welcome to do so now. As of right now, we do have sitting member President Shine Nieto, along with Vice President Raymond Beltran, Secretary Baldo Rodriguez, and City Member AJ Rivas.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. The time's 3:28 for Friday, November 21st, 2025. I'll take a roll call.
Yes, that'll be City Member AJ Rivas.
Present.
Secretary Baldo Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice President Raymond Beltran.
Present.
And President Shine Nieto.
Present. Next things on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and we want to lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that, sir. That's all the veterans or everything we be today. Next on the agenda is oral communications. We're good. Okay, schedule matters. Number one, approval of draft minutes for November 20th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve. It's been a year, and I trust the staff wrote down all the proper minutes, so I'll make a motion to approve.
So for approval of draft minutes of November 20th, 2024, I got a motion from Vice President Beltran and also second by Member Waldo. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? 4-0-0. Okay, moving on to item 2, city reimbursement, eligible expenses, construction update, and acceptance of the tertiary treatment wastewater faculty collection system and recycled waste infrastructure project.
Javier, do you want to give the staff report for that?
Sure. So for the tertiary treatment plant, we had been working with High Mountain Consulting, and then, we hadn't had, we just didn't know what had happened because some communication dropped off. And so in order to get numbers for this meeting, we have looked at the last invoices that we left off on the meeting of November 20th of 2024 and worked with the tribe's contractors which is Clark Construction, to find out what those numbers that were outstanding were. The Clark is the tribe's contractor, so the numbers between them may be different than what numbers between the tribe and the city have to be resolved. And so that's where we focus in on. We believe that all of the change orders that were outstanding have been compiled. All punch list items have been complete. And the totals that we have here of $1,031,442.03 for construction are for invoices 30 through 36, with the 36 one being solely for the release of retention. And then tied to that, the total of the consultant costs, all the soft costs, are $116,645.80. For a total reimbursement of $1,148,087.83, and that would make the city whole in paying the 100% of that what's owed to the tribe. But yeah, again, there seemed to be that maybe some numbers were still in the works. I'd recommend, if so, that maybe there'd be approval for what we have, and then if there's any discrepancy, we can, yeah, just button up. If there are some more expenses that weren't caught, then we can come right back and capture those and close that out.
That's the question here. You go ahead and accept number 36, which is the retention. In effect, you're saying the project is complete.
The project is complete, yes.
Yet you'll come back if there's additional monies to come in. So this is not a global settlement right now. This, where everything that's here is here now, to be paid now. Because typically a retention means you're done, you're not gonna accept anything other coming in afterwards. That's what typically a retention tells you.
True.
So what we're saying right now, I just wanna understand the game plan. So the game plan is, we're gonna go all the way through from 30 to 36, so that 36 being the retention amount. And then we're gonna sit and wait for additional monies to come forward if they do.
If there are invoicing costs that weren't captured in those invoices, then yes. And then again, it is not our standard project because we're reimbursing the tribe, and the tribe has their contract that completed the project. And so I think that could give us some flexibility, especially with the tribe has signed off on that project being complete, and we've verified that it has been complete as well.
So what I'm hearing is we're just waiting for possibly some invoices to come in.
Thank you.
Carry over.
Gary, can you give the tribes side?
Yeah, thank you. We've had an opportunity to look at the documents that were in the packet, and we've identified a Mitch Brown pay application number 15 for $15,914.03 that's not included. We've also identified some invoices from HSE. So we would like an opportunity to submit those to the city for payment. However, we would like to, at least everything that's in today's meeting to us is valid, and from our perspective, we'd like to see approved.
So Ms. Patterson there, Mitch Brown's participation, this was for the tertiary plant?
Okay, so those are the other two. We're still, like, I'm just reading emails now because we sent this off to our contractor who got back to us this afternoon. So we still might have a couple more. So I'd like an opportunity to be able to go over this with them in detail before we agree that this is final, because there might be some discrepancies.
Carrie, can I ask a question? Has the tribe paid, so has the tribe paid all, it's the contractor, everything it's owed, including the rent?
Yes, we have. We've paid everything.
So everything's been paid, it's just a matter of what you need to get reimbursement from the city from. So from the contract, I just want to kind of address Board Member Rodriguez's question. Because I think the project payments have been taken care of. The project is actually complete. There's no outstanding claims from the contractor or any of that. It's just a matter of these other reimbursements that just need to haven't been included in the packet that we got in front of us here today.
Yeah. Yes, our consultant is saying that there are maybe some invoices that we need to add.
Okay.
Neil, did you have an additional comment?
Yeah, that's what, so that was kind of why I wanted to have that week or so to get these in. The payment for Mr. Brown in that amount is for the project 230101 Avenue 128 Storm Retention Basin Project.
Well, that's item number 3 on the agenda.
Yeah, so that's that invoice for $15,914.03. So we want to make sure that we're going to only invoice what is directly related to the wastewater treatment plant itself. So that's why I was asking for that time. For the record.
So would it be fair to make a motion to go forward with the recommendations noted here, but it also noting, or with the stipulation from the attorney for the tribe, of future invoices that are withstanding. Would that be, because I know there's a bunch of little figures running around here, so. So we'll approve what's noted here, but with the understanding that doesn't close us out, that there are, acknowledging there are some, couple of invoices that need to still be noted.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it looks like everyone's in agreement with that, if that's a motion.
Was that a motion, Mr.
No, may I ask, would that affect the acceptance of the project?
That would have been my comment, is if you're gonna make if the board chooses to proceed in that way, then maybe just leave out accept the project as complete until the next meeting, so this will just be like previous meetings, just the payment up to this point in time, and then we close it out at the next meeting.
Right, and the last closing one would just be similar to like a balancing change order. You get all your additions, deductions, zero everything out.
For clarification, Javier, when we're saying accept the project as complete on the agenda, we're just talking as between the city and the tribe, not the project construction aspect of it, correct?
It's more so of when, this would transfer the responsibility of maintenance from the tribe to us
Ah, okay.
in this situation, right?
So would it be your recommendation to hold off on that portion until we have all reimbursements reconciled and paid?
Well, from the last meeting, I hadn't realized it had gone this far. Since the last meeting of 24, there were issues noted with the tank and several components related to it that there were too major to be considered warranty items, which didn't allow us to accept it at that time. So over the last 10 months, those have been addressed, and both in working with the tribe's consultant hydroscience and then us checking in and inspecting the site, we are confident that it's now in a working state, and all the punch list items have been addressed. So there wouldn't be any hesitation for us to take it over at this time.
Other than it's a matter of whether or not the city wants to do that without knowing what the full reimbursements claims are.
How
Correct.
about we just table this item to the next pattern meeting, because like we're trying to be neighborly and we get it all together and get the whole full price together, then we can vote on the whole full price. As the tribe's not trying to be sound greedy or say we want this money right now. We're still in this community together, and we're still teams together, so
Sure.
we can wait till we get that price. We just table it to the next pattern meeting. Go
Yeah,
from there.
and I think from that, President Tribe, Nieto, I mean, we're reciprocating that, in that, it's gone too long. We don't want to look like we're holding on to it, and, we want to pay what is owed from what we've reviewed so far.
As Native Americans are just human beings in general, we don't want to fight over money, food, or our land. I mean, so on the tribe side, maybe or that person that is supposed to be, I'm just saying that because I don't want to look like we're having a tug of war when we're supposed to be neighborly, and but the tribe's part of this community, whether anybody believes that or not. We don't have no grocery stores on our res. We don't have no gas stations up there. We have to come down there. We don't get to make clothes out of deer skin anymore, and so we have to come down here and shop in Porterville, and all our kids go to school down there. So we're just trying to be neighborly, and we're trying to be a part of this community just as much as anybody else, because we've always been. So to fight over this is, or to make it look like we're tug of warring over it, it's not. I don't like the look of that thing, because we're all up here together.
But is your proposal right now just to table it and not get any of the funds approved right now?
Yeah, just let's just table this right here, this section. That way we have the full amount, so we can schedule a time to get the full amount and get it all together and get paid for the full amount as well.
If I just sort of just add a comment here, my comments were not to try to keep any monies away. Mine is more of a principle thing, a principality, if you will. It's more of a principle thing, and that is when you go and do a release of retention, you are signifying that the project has been completed, and the next formal step is to accept it through a board like this or through the council. And it seems to me, and this is just me spitballing here, but it seems to me that if you remove that last payment, which is the retention, then this just becomes a regular progress payment request, and the tribe gets everything paid right now, all that you guys are asking, 30 to 35, right now is done. It's just that the retention part, and that's the language really that bothers me a little bit, and that is, a retention is, you're done, we're releasing the 10% or whatever that amount is now. But if, regardless of that, if you say 30 through 35, let's approve it, let's get you the monies to you
Well,
guys.
well, if that's your motion, I'll accept this, sir.
That would be my
Yeah.
motion.
And to add a little detail, that 36R invoice is $137,175.81.
And that's the retention amount.
Correct.
See, that's a significant amount.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't wanna be here,
Yeah.
looking like the tribe's trying to, I don't wanna make the tribe look bad and to the city, and the city look bad to the tribe. That's what, I'm just trying to be neighborly, that's why I made that
And I
statement.
think my
Yeah.
proposal was fair,
Yeah.
30 to 35, approve it, and
Yeah,
then the retention
I'm-
part becomes the retention part when all the funds are put together and everybody knows exactly where you stand.
Yeah, I'm not trying to debate that, I'm just trying to say, like, whatever you guys wanna do, let's do it. That's what I'm here for, to make moves. Yeah. And if that's your motion, I'll accept it.
Unless there's some objection, that is my motion.
Yeah.
Javier, just for a point of clarification, so that, finance wasn't able to be here, so that we can, produce the appropriate payment, what would be the total amount for 30 through 35 that Board Member Rodriguez is motioning?
Let me get back to the cover.
Take that little minus, subtract 137,000.
Right. So solely for construction cost, instead of the $1,031,442.03, it is $894,266.22.
Can you say that one more time?
Sure. Invoices 30 through 35 would total $894,266.22.
30 to 35?
Yes.
And we'll table the rest to the next meeting? Is that your motion?
Yeah, my motion is simply that, approve right now the 30 to 35, and then the retention becomes another part of the agenda, for our next agenda. Releasing the retention.
I'll second that motion.
So I got a motion from Member Baldo, second by Vice President Beltran, to approve the 30 through 35 section of the payment for $894,266.22, was it?
22
Yes,
cents.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And we'll bring the other one back to another meeting.
and just to note, the consultant costs were separate, and that was another $116,645.80.
Yeah, December 5th, we'll get that.
The next one?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll
unless
just,
you wanna make another motion on it.
no, it's however the board prefers.
On December 5th, 2 weeks, we'll address that one.
That way we
Okay,
can get
'cause-
everything in line, from the other stuff that might be missing.
Yeah, like Ms. Patterson stated,
Yeah.
it sounded like there were still some outstanding consultant costs.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we were
so we could put the full package together and have it on the agenda for that payment altogether.
I think we got to do that.
As long as everything is on the up and up,
Yeah, exactly.
everything is done and
Agree. All right.
move forward.
So moving on to item number 3, city reimbursement for eligible expenses for construction update and acceptance of storm drain recharge retention basin project.
And, Javier, you want to provide the staff report and walk us through that? This
Sure.
item?
So, again, this item is for the basin contract that the tribe had with Mitch Brown. There are 2 invoices that create that construction cost reimbursement that we're proposing, which is invoice number 13 and invoice 14. And similarly, 14 is for the retention release. So if you would like to take the same approach Wow. That would mean that we're holding the retention invoice, which is $478,965.20, and which means we're only paying invoice 13 in the amount of $2,962.71. And let me see, consulting costs on the basin project that we've compiled are $33,452.
Okay, the actual construction of that storm drain basin is done, 100%.
Correct.
And so this retention, okay. Let me be real frank as to what's bothering me now that I understand fully. Here you got a contractor who's done his work and he's deserving of his retention. But because of some little bit of a snafu on us, on everybody's part here about the dollar amount in writing, we're, on this item number 2, we're gonna hold up that retention. But the reality is the contractor has already done all the work. Yep. Am I right or wrong?
Correct, and if, unless what I misstated is wrong, Ms. Patterson, the tribe has fully paid and released retention for their contractor, so we're reimbursing the tribe for the money they're out because they've paid
Okay,
their
then I
contractor.
feel okay, then I feel good about it. Okay. We can move forward. We can move forward.
Yeah, and she, Karen gave us a A-okay.
Well, since, if I may, let's make a motion, I'd like to make the motion that we just stay the course what we did on number 2. The same thing. Since the contractor's not out his money, and this is just documentation between the 2 parties here, right?
Correct.
And if the tribe is willing to accept that, that we'll just wait for the final dollar amounts for the retention part of it, would that be okay? That's my motion. We know what you guys look for, we know when you're there.
So if you could state again the dollar amount minus the retention.
Sure. So the amount to be paid, which is specifically invoice 13, is $2,962.71. And we'll withhold invoice 14 till we have final amounts. Similarly, we'll withhold the consultant costs that we've compiled until we can verify what that final number is.
So the motion is to approve as Director Sanchez had commented on?
Yes,
I second that.
So I got a motion from Member Baldo, second by Member Rivas to approve the 13 item for $2,962, or $2,962.71. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? 400. We'll just bring the item 14 back to the next meeting on December 5th. Okay, moving along to item 4, consideration of reimbursement payment options under the development and reimbursement agreement for wastewater and recycled water improvements.
I think with this one, since we haven't fully finished, making sure we had all the numbers, it's difficult to, potentially difficult to vote on an option or two. In the staff report, we did give some dollar amounts, but that appears that those dollar amounts will change. I do want to note that.
As a motion to table till December 5th, then. That'll be my motion.
I second that motion.
So I got, for item number 4, I had a motion from Shanito, myself, and Member Beltran, Arbaldo, to table till December 5th. Is that a second on Baldo to table till December 5th meeting? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? 400. What happened to that person that used to do this part for me? He's he quit?
I was waiting for you to call on me, but it seems you're doing a very good job.
I was like, yeah, you're sitting right here, that's why. It's like, oh, they get a promotion?
Mr. Beltran was right there, but he actually moved over there.
Oh, my bad.
You're the president.
Trump's the president. He's gonna get you for saying that. Oh, all right. Moving on, man. I mess around too much sometimes, so my bad. They should never give me a mic sometimes. Moving on to item 5, local roads improvement coordination.
Yeah, so I'll provide a brief summary. There are 2 projects that we wanted to provide some information on. One is a state-driven project through Caltrans. That's the State Route 190 at Westwood Roundabout that just started construction a couple weeks ago. The time frame for that construction is expected to take about 12 months. So around this time next year, it'll be fully complete and operational. But the one thing that comes from that is, as you may have noticed, there are some detours and shutdowns in that area that will affect how traffic can get through that. You know, namely the casino and then our sports complex and the airport area. And so just like any other construction project, detours and lane shutdowns will change and evolve as construction moves forward. But if any questions come up, we do have contact information for that Caltrans information officer. If there's any ever desire to, you know, what's coming up or why have certain things taken so long. Secondly, it's to provide a status on our West Street realignment project, which is just north of the sports complex there. We had a meeting with Caltrans in March where they let us know that it was going to require some significant environmental studies. We've been back and forth on the preliminary environmental study form, and we believe we've submitted the final version. They've had it a few weeks, and hopeful that we can get approval by end of this year, early next, so that we can begin the studies that are required for that process to get environmental clearance. And then we'd estimate that about 12 months of environmental studies before we secure environmental clearance, and then we can go to bid and get that project awarded and begin construction. So unfortunately, that blows up our timeline of trying to piggyback with the Caltrans 190 and Westwood roundabout and shut down the area only once. Pretty much once Caltrans is complete, our city project will begin. But again, 90% of the project can be constructed without affecting the current Westwood Street and Scranton Avenue circulation until we begin work on the roundabouts to connect that new road to the existing roads and then realign those at that time.
Any comments or questions? I know you guys talked about it before I got here, so I'm good with it. Neil's gonna go.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No comment.
I don't wanna have to go through it all again. Go ahead.
The only concern I brought up, McClay, Mr. President or Chairman, I'm McClay Chairman because that's what you are. So Chairman, I did talk about the potholes that are in front of the Tulare County's holding center there, that it's pretty bad.
South Detention Center?
Yeah, the South Detention Center. Vehicles have to actually either go into the other lane or into the emergency lane, which there isn't one, so onto the shoulder when it gets foggy in our area. So it might be best for the representatives to get somebody here from the county so that we can. I know I've seen that on the agenda, but I don't think there's anybody here representing the county of Tulare as far as roads go. And I do know that we were discussing on the tribe side with our 38.7 acres that are now in trust on the corner of Teapot Dome and West for public safety to add a turn lane there. But I'm not sure if there's enough plans for a roundabout that's supposed to be there. I just asked that to Carrie if there was. I'm not sure if there is. But I do know that's kind of a blind corner because it's currently in orange grove, so you can't really see around that corner when you're coming around, and traffic moves pretty fast on Teapot Dome. So I know the tribe was talking about, we're not sure if that's the city or the county, so if we can give a right-of-way so that a turn lane can be placed in so that there's safer access to, not only to that side of the sports complex and SE's property, but to the tribe's property as well.
Was that the Teapot Dome and West Street intersection?
Yeah, so Teapot Dome and West, right? So you have the
Alright.
fairgrounds, and you have the tribe's 38.7 acres that's in trust, and then, so that turn there. When you're heading
Right.
west and you're making a right, then you go to the casino. That's kind of a blind corner. We received several requests from not only patrons, but even some of our own members regarding, can there be a turn lane there?
Right. Let me see. Yeah, that whole Teapot Dome, it's a patchwork of county, city, county,
Yeah.
city. I believe that intersection there is county. We can definitely reach out to our counterparts on the potholes that need to be filled and bring attention to those. But on that intersection improvements, we may have to coordinate with those. Long-term, coordinate with the county on those. Long-term, it is the city's vision to improve Teapot Dome to city standards from State Route 65 to West Street. But that is at least 5 to 7 years out.
I think though, with the partnership with the tribe, and then the relationship that Chairman Ito has with the BIA, because we haven't added those to our BIA list yet, and once we do that, that'll include additional federal money to those areas since it serves federal trust property, not just one parcel, but two, so close to 80 acres. We haven't done that yet because of this. It's, while this 150 feet's the cities and the next 300 yards is the county, I think we need to come, the city, the county, and the tribe need to get together and say what's going to be best for this area, not just for economic development, but for recreation. I know there's a lot of issues with people parking along the side of the road there that use the sports complex because there's inadequate parking. What can we do together to try to make at least the roads safe? Because you have three sovereigns that are trying to deal with this issue, and we're kind of bumping heads, or we're going the other way. So I think actually sitting down and ironing it out, saying the tribe's willing to give a right-of-way onto the trust property, because that's going to require work with BIA and the Department of the Interior, saying we want to give a right-of-way because it's for public safety. So we recognize that, and we see that. We have people that drive from the reservation to work there. And that's one of our primary, we employ a little over, close to 900 people now, Chairman?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there at that facility. The tribe itself just capped a little over 300 on the government side. So we're starting to creep up on the employment, so we want to make sure that those people that are going to work have safe access. Like I said, those potholes in the roads, and then some areas that the road narrows and there's no shoulder. So I think moving forward with that, and I think this would be the perfect venue for that. I don't know if we'd open this up to 2 seats for the county, but that's out of my purview. I'll leave that up to our chairman and those moving forward. But I thought I'd bring that up because, again, we want people to reach our property safely, and we want them to be secure in going that way. And it gets really foggy in our area. That's kind of it with that.
So, thank you for that, sir. And thank you guys for having your discussion before I got here. I appreciate the update at least. I usually like to stay in the loop, but yeah, the roads are pretty bad out there, but us as natives on that road, we're used to it, but a lot of people ain't, so, especially some patrons, they like to throw the complaint in the box, or they see you with the badge on your person, they like to stop you and let you know about everything. But yeah. But moving along, to item 6, Two River Tribe Active Transportation Plan update.
Thank you, Chair and members of the board. We have just a couple slides to bring you up to date on 2 active transportation plans that were born out of this partnership. The first one is in regards to the Eagle Mountain Casino Resort area. this map that you're seeing here, was produced through the amendment to the first slide. Fern, I want to give them the title of the project. Let's see, there we go, the To the River Active Transportation Plan. There was amendment in 2024 to do some additional work. This is for pedestrian connectivity around the complex, and we can go to the next slide. From here, you'll see, a trail of various networks from existing sidewalk, which is in red, to proposed Class 1 and Class 2 bike paths, as well as walking paths around both the fairgrounds, to the Eagle Mountain Casino Resort area and the sports complex, just providing full connectivity to the general area, with some conceptuals on what proposed bike paths and walking paths could look like. And the next slide, looking kind of out more regional and connecting into the city's existing trail and bike networks. This is a map showing utilizing Teapot Dome as a path to connect into the city's Butterfield Stage corridor, which is currently under construction. Right now, to the south of the Butterfield Stage, to the southern portion currently starts at Porterville College. So we would need to, in future years, connect it all the way out down South Main to Teapot Dome, and then we could go across the highway and into the resort area. But currently, the project for Butterfield is it called, Sarah, is it considered maybe phase 1 from Porterville College to West North Grand? Okay. That's under construction. You see quite a bit of work being done. It's targeted to be completed next year. We're really excited about that. But this would give us connection from the resort area, sports complex, into town through bike and pedestrian pathway. I think the next slide is some more conceptuals that the consultant Four Creeks had done. There's quite a bit of feedback and some outreach events being performed. And Chairman, I can send the document to you if you'd like. So you have it. Some outreach events happened at the fair, as well as other areas in town. And I believe if I'm not mistaken, Javier might maybe correct me, was there some outreach efforts up on the reservation as well? Yeah, okay, recall. Got it. Okay. Yeah, the plan is now complete, and the next slide gives one additional. Yeah, so this is a bus route from our downtown transit center. Conceptual what that route would look like. So we talked about bike and ped. Now we're talking transit. Other ways to get to the resort area and the sports complex. Pretty straightforward, quick route for future consideration. And then the next slide is the consultant had prepared some estimates for the multi-use path. Construction is totaling $6.6 million. Design and construction management's another $1.4 million for about an $8.1 million project. We'll be working with TCAG to try to fund this project in the future. Javier and Sarah, do you have anything to add on this particular project?
No, just that alignment of this multi-use path would be incorporated as part of the street improvements, which would be, it's a 3-mile length from Main Street to West Street that we'd be having to acquire significant right-of-way, and then obviously the construction costs to make this happen.
Mr. Javier, you said 3 miles?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
That's nice.
We'll switch gears to a project that's currently under development. We're in the environmental phase, which is the pedestrian bridges up on tribal land. years back, there was some discussion about 3 different projects. From the project 1 is a village corridor crossing. Project 2 would be the development of a pedestrian bridge. I don't know, Chairman, you might be able to identify the location for. Okay. Got it. Yeah, go ahead.
I do have an update, Chairman. So we do have a project that's going on with FEMA. Our project director met with council earlier, tribal council earlier this week. The pedestrian bridge where it's by our admin building there, the one that's got the little beam ending facing down, it's actually going to be moved to where it says gymnasium, because FEMA's going to fund the pedestrian and restore the swinging bridge that's there. So when our project manager updated that, they're working on getting that down. Chairman will be presiding over a meeting, probably if not next week, the week after, for council to grant those right-of-ways for that, so our EPA and our project manager have actual boundaries to which to work in and do their studies, and all those other things are going to have to happen. The biggest concern is the project farthest to my left, heading that way, because that's a very long span. What the chairman said, when we were younger, that was the only way across. So in the wintertime, that was an old flood bridge where it says $1 Million Bridge. There was not a bridge there. You walked across the water. So that was the only way, unless you crossed that swinging bridge or you went about 5 miles up the road to the next swinging bridge to cross. Otherwise, you couldn't cross unless you had a big 4x. So this is an improvement that the membership are looking forward to. But I do know that with that update, the one that was there, that's still waiting on that FEMA project, waiting for the state to give final approval. And then the project bridge for this project would be moved right where it says gymnasium. It's going to cut across somewhere in that area. And I could have with our chairman's permission, have our project manager reach out to you so that you guys can see the new map.
Sounds good. And I imagine Sarah will need some coordination on, oh, you have it already? Oh.
Was you at the walk around up there? Oh, yeah, that's why I recognize you. I was wondering. This made me think about that. Because that's when I left you guys at this point, by the gym, because you guys wanted to really walk. And yeah, I'm like, I'm good. I gotta go over here. I gotta do something. My bad.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know about that part.
Yeah, with staff, it appreciates working with the tribe staff, and we're excited about this project as well. And the next couple slides are just some additional maps. That's the Cow Mountain. That's the original, the first bridge that was to your left, right, that you described, Neil? Okay. And then the next slide, that's what we talked about. That's going to move towards the gymnasium, and FEMA's going to do that bridge. Got it? And some conceptuals. Again, these were years ago. It's not, we'll see what the design team actually creates, but this was from a couple years ago when we were putting the application together. There were some conceptuals being made. And pedestrian bridge, and then I think, yeah, this is the village corridor, complete street improvements. With some Javier may be able to speak better to what we're seeing here as far as the complete street design work.
Yeah, so when we had our site meeting out there with the tribe's project manager, Sabino Martinez, and then our project manager, Sarah Weaver, it was to do a site visit, just put eyes to the project site, and be able to move forward with a really clear project description for the environmental. Once that was sketched out, we sent it to the tribe to get their buy-in and sign off so that the consultant can continue the environmental process and keep this on track, because the ATP grants are very tight timelines, and so they're currently in that doing their studies. But yeah, one of the main items on that street in front of all the center there was just providing the biggest purpose is to provide a safe path for pedestrians. We're able to see students come off those buses, and like the tribal member stated, it shuts down that road for 20 to 30 minutes. Just kids crossing all over the place. So we're able to see that in person and help visualize how some pedestrian improvements can come forward and give them safe paths.
Sounds good, thank you. Yeah, there was some, early on in the planning, some conceptual work. We wanted to incorporate the basket weave pattern in a lot of the concrete work. Many of these designs were also incorporated into the Butterfield stage corridor as well. Santa Fe. All right, Santa Fe. And then the next slide, you won't be able to read it, but that's really kind of the budget worksheets, but it's like a $2 million project if I remember correctly. Or it's more than that now? All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
I like it.
This looks pretty good all the way around. I mean, for the city and the tribe. That's the way I like to see it. I'm sure that's the way Emeritus Mr. Crone likes to see it also. I mean, but thank you guys for that. Did you have a comment on that before I move on?
No, I just wanna say that, I'm new to this,
Okay.
and I do wanna work hand in hand with you, your community, and as long as I'm here, I would like to extend my olive branch to your community, and hopefully we can be a 100% partnerships in going forward with projects and stuff for that nature. So I just wanted to make a comment on it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I don't got time to debate, and I don't got time to, I don't know how long I want to sit in this position, so I would like to get stuff done fast as I can. That way I don't have to stay here forever. I mean, I want to go back to coaching and doing things with my Rottweilers and being happy in the river. I mean, but as long as I'm here, I just want to get stuff done. I don't got time to debate or argue. I could do that with the 14 members that don't like me.
Well, Mr. Nieto, I concur with working with you.
Thank you. I'm the same. Yeah. And the other matters.
And this one, I'll just echo the words of, look at your title, Neil, I apologize. Neil had mentioned one of the other topics that had been discussed, and the board can provide staff direction, but the other topic that has been discussed is the OHV park.
Oh, that's what I was going to bring up too. Yeah.
Yeah, and provided an update that the city has received an updated appraisal for the OHV park a week or two ago.
We're playing Monopoly. We're ready to buy. Before we pass go too. But yeah, thank you for that. We'll discuss that more later, I guess, because we still have an interest in that. And then for the tribes update to the city in Zapata, we know that people are saying that we're not going to build the fire station for the city out there at our place. I say our place because I mean all of us in the room and all of us in this community. So we can't build the fire station that we want to build, the first responders of our community. We could put together a warehouse for them right now, but without the why would we wanna do that for first responders? I mean, we wanna build something that looks nice, and so with the hotel move to build the hotel, to generate money from that hotel money, then we'll have money to build a real fire station instead of a warehouse for the first responders. We don't wanna, we appreciate our fire crew up there on the hill, so they gotta, if you wanna take a tour up there and see that, I mean, that's what we're looking at. We're not looking at it as something that's just gonna be put together and Lego shopped, and so, we have no, plans not to build it to renege on anything that we have discussed already in the transport. So I just wanna be transparent with that, cause like I said, that video was a little bit disturbing that got sent to me about the council meeting, and then I didn't really take too much about it, but I just wanna make sure that when I came here to see you guys, that was gonna be openly talked about with the other matters, because, that's not our intention to ever, dishonor what we gave our word to already. So I just wanna let you guys know that we plan on building that fire station, and we plan on doing some other things with the city, but, we have to generate what we have to generate, cause we still gotta pay for our 31 programs up the hill also with some of the money we make. So, I mean, then we give the credits of the gaming to different things, and so, you mean, that's where a lot of things come in to play with this, so it's not like we're just out there raking for ourselves. We got some of your guys' family members working for us, and a lot of people from different communities around different cities, so it's not like we're not trying to help people. And that's how we are as people, as Stewie people, are welcoming people, we've always been. And that's not gonna change. I took over the reins, this guy, cause he taught me how to be here, so, I mean, I owe him a lot. That's why I call him emeritus, cause that's who he is to me. And he calls me chairman, but he knows I don't like that, but, he tells me to get used to it, but he thinks I'm gonna stay here as long as him, but I don't plan on it. But I just wanna be transparent with that we do have plans to build that fire station. The only reason we're not building it, cause we only have money to build a warehouse, we don't have money to build a fire station.
Understood.
But, and then the other thing I had on the table is that we had a golf tournament not too long ago, and, to try to save the city sports, to help you guys out with city sports and the cost of the things. We raised some money with our golf tournament from other tribes and other vendors that help with the casino. So we raised some money to give to, Porterville Little League, Porterville softball, some basketball leagues, and, of course, Burton, Elementary, and Pioneer, our Burton Junior High and Pioneer Junior High, some money to their ADs, so, cause that's where our kids go, so we wanted to give to them for helping our kids out. And then, the main one was to give to, the city and the fire department, what you guys wanna do with the 20,000 that we're gonna give you. We really wanted to honor, the 2 firemen that, perished in the library fire, so whatever you guys do with that, we was thinking about, giving you that so you can make monuments across the street for those firefighters, but we wanted to invite the family and you guys from the city to, a dinner at the casino, to help them out, so that they could be there, the families, those 2 families could be there, that show them that we still care about those 2 firefighters, that they're not gone, cause for us as people, their spirit always lives in us. So, I never knew them, but that's how we are as people. We want to give back to them. So that's the main give to that cause with that golf tournament. So that's where some of that money's going. So you guys are welcome to come to that dinner and be a part of it and check it out. But that was my last other matter that I had for the tribe.
The chairman didn't take really, regarding that meeting that was sent to us. I watched it on YouTube, but I did, and I'm the mellow guy, right? So, the project, like I said earlier when we started, the project's always been the project, so I did let them know, Chairman, that the project's only gotten a little smaller, only because we're kind of stuck on the 40 acres, so it's only gonna be about 193 rooms, 5 stories tall. There'll be a restaurant on top. I think I forgot to mention that. There'll be a restaurant on top, for that, and then, part of that OHV purchase was we wanted to bring like you have the sports complex there, an amphitheater is supposed to go there. Also a 5,000 seat kind of arena type venue, multi-purpose venue that was supposed to be here in like phase 4 or phase 5 to bring larger events to our area so that, you know, our local mom and pop shops can benefit from the traffic coming through, all these other things. So that's why we wanted to start that back and see where did that break down regarding that transaction. The tribe has the funds set aside, has had the funds set aside. I know we're waiting for you to find out some right-of-ways and other stuff, and now update your appraisal. Like everything else, the costs just keep going up the longer we wait, right? We bought steel in November, it was $4,000 a ton. We needed more in March, and it was $8,000 a ton. So we know how that works, so we try to do these things ahead of time, which is why under Chairman Ito's leadership, we want to open that lines of communication back up and start having these meetings and discussions to move things forward, not to just to benefit the tribe, but also the city and our surrounding area. There are other funds that the tribe does have, requirements under federal that can also be used. But we need to have those talks in order to get those things started and get those things moving. So, but the project, like I said, the project's still the project. It's a little smaller in scale for now. There's a master plan for another additional tower should the need come. I watch you guys' meetings. I know there's planned for a hotel next to the Best Western, between Best Western and Holiday Inn there. So I think we can work this out together. Like the chairman said earlier, Porterville's economy is our economy. Those 1,100 people that we employ come shopping here. Our 1,650 something residents of the reservation come here to shop. So I'm here, to try to open those lines of communication and let's move things forward. Thank you.
So,
Yeah, and then the reason why we wanted to do the amphitheater, because we wanted it to be bigger acts. I don't know if you was around. I know me and Donnie was around, and Neil was around when the municipal ballpark used to be there. And I think that guy, his name was Alkire, that brought all the country acts and all the acts to the fairgrounds. And there's never, every time we had the fair, there's never no concert series. You know? Everybody else still got a concert series but us. But I just kind of old school. I like to eat where I eat, and I don't really like to try nothing new. But I like change, but I just don't like when some things that were good, in my point of view, was taken away. Because I'm a music man too, so I kind of like that, because as long as you get in the fair, you can watch that concert from anywhere. So I'm just that way still, man. But I kind of liked how he did that, man. I don't know how he did it, but he did something, because he had this good country acts before they went anywhere else, and that was Porterville having that. And I think anytime you could have something like that, it attracts more business to everything in our economy here.
Well, on behalf of the city, and I know the council members will want to comment too, we want to thank the tribe for the donation towards the number one, the library and the firefighters that we lost, but two, also supporting the local sports programs. I know that you're passionate about that, and what you continue to give, and we appreciate it. It's extraordinary what the tribe has done as far as giving to various organizations, and we thank you for that. In regards to the OHV, now that we're the main item, the tertiary plant and the basin are essentially complete, is that the desire of the board to put that item on at a future meeting? Would you like staff to put that on as an agenda item, the OHV park? That was one of, the purpose of this board is to work together on various projects, and the first project that was discussed and then put forward was, the tertiary plant that would support the sports complex, it would support the Eagle Mountain Resort area and future growth. This is my first meeting, and so I can't speak to it, but as Neil described, there was discussions in regards to the selling of the OHV park as another project where the purpose of this this board would discuss.
Yeah, that's from when I took over, when I came on with the emeritus, he was telling me that this was already pretty much a done deal, handshake, everything else, or I think it was 1.3 or something like that. We did all this, we did all the studies on it as a tribe, paid for everything, so glad you guys did the appraisal this time, because we did it twice already, and, it was supposed to be on the table already, and it never got to happen. And I tried to ask her out here, and then I tried to ask the emeritus before that, but it was always like, you gotta ask this person, you gotta ask that person. So, you get busy with other things, trying to move the trial, the casino, and then being here. I just looked at the room because I thought it was probably something no one wanted to discuss. But from what I understand, that this was already a handshake already before. And we had to do it again because of the time limit went out on that appraisal, so for the second time. So, like I said,
We actually changed state law for that transaction to pass, if you remember. So Chairman Emeritus William Garfield actually, the tribe sponsored a bill to add tribes to surplus land that's from counties and cities and local governments. So we actually changed state law for this to happen. I think the last thing we were waiting for was just where your right-of-ways for SEE, where your underground lines were. So we have to document that in our phase 1 and phase 2 environmental, so you still have that access when the tribe eventually places it into trust, which is a requirement under the tribe's constitution.
Yeah, my only comment to it right now is, we want to act in good faith. When I came on, 3 years ago, there was a lot of movement, which is great. And unfortunately, there was the flooding that happened and a bunch of other things, inflation and stuff. So I know it kind of moved the time frame of some of these projects. I know, I think maybe on the December 5th meeting, we can possibly discuss it at that time. I would probably be my recommendation at that time, but I think right now, because we have two different committees, we have one with the actual structure, the physical layout, and then we're going to have the other one that's the MOU committee meeting that I don't know what their discussions are, but I think the city manager with some direction, knowing that there's some movement with the new appraisal and what have you, they can talk, and then by the December 5th meeting, we should be, at least on the city side of it, have everything in alignment to then move forward with that discussion.
I was going to ask basically the same question, but in a different format. And I was going to ask the city manager where we were with that, if we can move with that on a discussion on the 5th, and then possibly whatever intel you can give us on an update on that. Maybe we can bring it back to and put it on the agenda when like Mr. Beltran said, the MOU of that committee and the other committee, and that way we can finalize it, and that way we can put this back on board. And with that,
Yeah, we'll try to schedule a meeting in regards to the MOU so we can work on parallel paths. Yep.
Then I'll go ahead and motion that on the.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Just really quick, I know in the interest of having the meeting on the 5th was because we may have not have had the meeting today. Just want to point out we have Thanksgiving next week, so there's going to be some days where there's people not going to be available. I don't know if that time crunch to get the agenda out would be appropriate. We would have to get the agenda out for the next meeting on the 5th by Tuesday, the 2nd, at no later than at least 2:30.
Good point, Fernando. And I think at the bottom of the agenda, it does have the regularly scheduled meeting for PATA. I believe it's the 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And we'll need some time to meet, maybe.
Would that be enough time to get all that information that we were discussing earlier?
It'll help coordinate schedules and see if we can have a meeting in regards to the MOU before the 19th, for sure.
So we're talking about, right now, what we're talking about, the 5th, canceling the 5th, and then you just bundle them on the 19th, correct?
Yeah. Well, Chairman, again, we have new board members. I understand that the tribe is going to make, have a resolution on and identify who the actual board members will be moving forward if there is going to be a change to board members on the tribal side. I mean, as far as the date and time, again, that's historical. We met on Friday at 3 p.m. If that's not, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's also in our bylaws, I believe, that we meet every Friday at 3 p.m. Every third Friday at 3 p.m.
Before we adjourn, I forgot, we started a thing, because we can't really give to youth for our gaming money, and so if you know people that gamble, they get $5.75 and they can't get the 75 cents out, there's gonna be a Tuller Cares button you can push, and that's gonna be a donation, and then we can use that donation money for pretty much anything, so that's what we wanna keep giving back with also, so, yeah, so we're gonna start that up soon, yeah. So, with
Maybe
that,
kind of on that same note, we've had some updates to our sports complex master plan. We could also kind of share if you haven't seen that, or is that,
I'll say I didn't see it, but yeah, I think that's cool, the whole thing,
yeah. And then we have a sportsplex going out to, we have a lot of other youth-oriented activities that we can share with the board if that's their desire.
Yeah, I seen that plan. It looks pretty good because everything's gonna be out there as a sports complex. Yeah. This guy's ready to dance, so.
We're also working on our active transportation plan that we'll be taking to council early next year. It had a robust public process, and it has more ways to connect to that area via bike and peds than just the proposed from Butterfield, potentially. And there's some that are regionally along the canal in different ways, so we might have different options to help make it happen. So we can provide that as well.
That's a lot going on. Wow. Now, some of those bridges, are they gonna be lit on the pathways, or maybe yes, no?
Sarah?
That was just a question.
They're all under design right now, or actually they're environmental, so we haven't really finished the design and concepts. It's just more the layout so that we can make sure that we're encompassing the full area for environmental compliance.
Thank you, thank you. A lot happening. Yep.
So with all that being said, I got a motion to adjourn until December 19th, 2025 at 3 o'clock.
Very good. Thank you.